Hi, welcome to this presentation on intermittent fasting, and we will discuss if it is appropriate for an older population. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting refers to alternating between periods of fasting and normal eating. It's a time-restricted eating plan, not a calorie-restricted eating plan. It's currently a popular trend in weight loss and thought to offer a number of additional health benefits. It's also considered to be more in line with ancestral eating patterns, as a constant food supply is a relatively new development in human history. There are many different intermittent fasting protocols, including shorter and longer periods of fasting. Some popular protocols include a 16-hour fast, an 8-hour feeding window, a 20-hour fast and 4-hour feeding window, 23-hour fast and 1-hour feeding window, or 5-2, which is 5 days of regular eating and 2 non-consecutive days of fasting within a week, or alternate day fasting, which is just fasting every other day. Adaptations during fasting. Metabolic switching. Right, so triglycerides begin to be broken down instead of glucose for energy in the body, beginning after about 8 to 12 hours of fasting. Right, it's also known as ketosis. Okay, caloric restriction also has positive effects on aging and is associated with a longer lifespan. And fasting elicits an adaptive response from cells, resulting in improved glucose control, increased insulin sensitivity, improved blood lipids, and reduced inflammation. And animal studies show fasting has a positive effect on memory and cognition through reduction of systematic inflammation and oxidative stress. What are some of the pros and cons of intermittent fasting? Well, in addition to the adaptations that we discussed on the previous slide, intermittent fasting may result in weight loss or fat loss. People also enjoy that their food choices aren't restricted during the eating window, and hunger and cravings may be decreased during the fasting window through ketosis. Some of the cons: compliance might be an issue with the rigid time frames. This may result in binge eating or overcompensation during the feeding window. Intermittent fasting also does not address food quality or control for caloric intake. During the fasting window, there's potential for headaches, loss of mental focus, constipation, or dizziness due to hypoglycemia. And it's also just generally contraindicated for some individuals: professional athletes, diabetics, anyone with history of eating disorders, pregnant and breastfeeding individuals, children. So it's not for everyone. Will intermittent fasting result in weight loss? The short answer is it depends. A caloric deficit is necessary for weight loss or fat loss. Intermittent fasting operates under the assumption that a person will eat normally during the feeding window and not overcompensate for fasting, which is a pretty big assumption. Without controlling or monitoring caloric intake, we really can't know. Is intermittent fasting appropriate for older adults? Well, we know weight gain is a major concern as we age. Decreased energy expenditure, along with lower resting metabolic rate, contributes to weight gain in an aging population. However, sustained caloric restriction is not advised for non-obese older adults due to potential weight loss, loss of skeletal muscle, decreased bone mineral density, and reduced immune system function that may result. Alternatively, time-restricted feeding without a caloric deficit may allow older adults to realize some of the benefits of fasting without the potential drawbacks of chronic caloric restriction. If weight loss is the goal, a moderate calorie deficit and increased energy expenditure is advised. And in either case, adequate protein along with regular resistance training will help to maintain lean muscle mass. What are some of the key takeaways? Intermittent fasting offers many potential benefits, including glucose control, decreased inflammation, weight loss, improved cognitive function, and increased cellular stress resistance. Older adults may choose to utilize time-restricted eating without a caloric deficit to realize some of the benefits of fasting without the risk of muscle loss, decreased bone mineral density, or reduction in resting metabolic rate. Overall caloric intake still needs to be monitored to achieve the goal of weight loss or weight maintenance, whatever the case may be. Consuming nutritious foods with adequate carbohydrate, protein, fat, and micronutrients is essential to maximizing an individual's health, and resistance training and daily movement should be prioritized with or without intermittent fasting in older adults. Thanks for listening, guys. Here are the references. All right.